Hey guys, my name is Andrei. Today I'm going to share with you my personal experience in obtaining a Chinese driving license if you already have a license that you received earlier in your country. Let's start. I was really confused when I found out that China does not accept international driving licenses, at least big cities as Beijing or Shanghai. I live in Beijing and received the Chinese driving license in Beijing, which means the requirements could be a bit different from the city you live in. But as a rule, it's almost the same. First of all, as I said, you must have a driving license issued by your country or any country where you received it already. Otherwise, you must attend a driving school for several months. And the classes usually lead in Chinese language, which is really inconvenient, especially if your Chinese isn't that good. There are some driving schools that have driving lessons for foreigners in English, but the payment for such school is almost crazy. It's about 10,000 Chinese RMB. That equals approximately $1,500. And in the end, you anyway have to pass the exams. So it is good for you to have your driving license already. Here I'd like to point out one important note for motorbike drivers, as I'm a motorist as well. If the driving license issued by your country contains only A or B categories, then you're not allowed to pass the only theoretical test. In that case, you will have to go through the driving lessons anyway. So make sure your driving license has A and B categories. Then you only need to pass a theoretical exam. If you have B category and you only want to drive a motor car, then you don't have to worry about it. There is a thing you need to know about the exam. You cannot just come and pass it from the first time, even if you know all the rules and regulations. China is a bit specific country, and it has a lot of signs, marks, and driving laws that you won't find in international driving. In my opinion, the best way to prepare for the exam is to download the official app Drive in China. It is not for free, but it only costs for about 30 RMB, and you can buy it on the App Store or Google Play. It contains about 1,600 of questions in English, and you better to learn them all. It took me about 2 weeks to learn the test. In fact, it's not that difficult. The main thing is to practice every day before the exam. Secondly, you need to collect the following documents. First, your actual driving license. Second, your passport with working or student visa, which is valid for at least 3 months. Third, temporary residence registration, which is issued by the police station of the neighborhood where you live. Fourth, medical check that you can take from almost any hospital. I'll talk about it more clearly later in the video. Fifth, 8 standard pictures with white background. Can be taken from any photo studio. Now, let's talk more detail about 2 paragraphs on the list. Number 2, or your visa. According to regulations of the Chinese Public Security Department of Transport Vehicles, you need to have work or student visa in order to obtain a Chinese driving license. The department does not consider applications with business or tourist visas. Number 4, medical check. As I pointed out earlier, you can receive it in almost any hospital in your city. It only takes a few minutes to check your eyes, and if everything is fine, they give you a paper immediately. I myself took it from China-Japan Hospital, which is located close to Xiaoyaodu subway station. The staff here are very nice, and what's really cool, they speak English. It cost me only 100 RMB and took me only 10 minutes to receive a paper. Once you arrive there, you need to find an international department of the hospital. Then ask your question at the registration desk, and they tell you where to go. Bring 2 pictures, and be sure you have 100 RMB in cash, because they don't accept WeChat or Alipay payment. Here, I'd like to put the important note for motorbike drivers. Once you see the doctor, you need to tell him that it should be written on the paper that you're passing the exam for 2 categories, motor cars and motorbikes. Otherwise, the Department of Transport Vehicles will not accept your documents, and you will have to return to the hospital again, just because your paper does not match the requirements. Finally, let's talk about the application. Now you have the full package of documents, and you're ready to apply for the exam. You need to go to the Public Security Department of Transport Vehicles in your city. In Beijing, it is located on the southeast of the 3rd Ring Road. I'll leave the address in the description. Once you arrive there, you need to go to the left side of the main building and find an international department. Don't worry, they speak English there. You will be asked to fill in the form in Chinese, but if you ask them politely, they will help you with that. You cannot take the exam on the first day you came to the office and applied for, because there are many foreigners willing to pass. They offer you a date and time that is available, and then you need to pay 50 RMB for the exam. The actual exam contains 100 questions and lasts for 45 minutes. 90 or above out of 100 means that you passed. It is a computer exam. Before the day of the actual exam, you have to sleep well. Don't panic, just concentrate on what you have learned. Come to the test center in advance, like 20 minutes. When they open the door and announce that you may come in, you will be offered to choose the language of the test. Choose the English language. Do not choose your native language, such as Russian or Korean, whatever it is. Do not choose the Chinese language, even if you think that your Chinese is better than English. Trust me, the questions, especially about the driving law, are very tricky. I have a friend who only passed the exam in Russian from the 8th time, and it's not because he didn't know the right answers, but because the questions and answers are often written with grammatical and lexical mistakes. Choose English and you pass it from the very first time, as I did. You will know the score right after the exam. Then you pay additionally 10 RMB for the license, and you can order the delivery to your address for an extra payment. It saves you money and valuable time. To summarize, if you're well prepared and you have all the necessary documents, you only need to visit the Department of Transport Vehicles twice, and you'll get your driving license. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it helps you to go through the procedure of obtaining a driving license in China. Subscribe, thumbs up, and in the next video I'm gonna tell you how to buy a motorcycle or scooter in China legally with license plate and all the documents. See ya!